Now it's time for on IP in the news. And today we have a really kind of current subject, and that is Lululemon has sued Costco for patent infringement. So
Yes, I know you've shopped at Costco because I've made you go there. But I don't think
I
you've
stood
ever
in those long lines waiting to
Yeah.
get out. Yeah,
I
I
don't
know
know that
that
you've ever
feeling.
been to Lululemon, but Lululemon has a reputation of a really high-end athletic apparel store and lifestyle brand too. And the clothes are a little pricey, not out of reach, but a little higher end of the price scale, but really nice. And the one at
Well,
the mall near us, Short
just
Hills Mall, there's always a line.
yeah, there's just to give an example. So in the article we read, Lululemon hoodie cost 120 bucks. And you
Right.
could get something similar at Costco for 20 bucks. So
Right.
that's a big difference.
So, but they have patents too, which makes their case so much stronger,
Yeah.
right? So most people that are suing over this copycat stuff are using copyright or maybe trademark, but they actually have patents on some of the stuff they do. So
Which
I
is unusual for an apparel company, by the way.
right.
So
Right. So I do think that I know I don't know that most people would that know fashion, let's say, would confuse Costco with Lululemon. Honestly. I, I remember when we lived in Atlanta, down you bought a dress at Costco and went down to the pool at our subdivision. Someone goes, "Hey, she's wearing your dress." So, and it was pretty obvious it was a Costco. That was way back when. But, um, but by the same token, they put a lot of money into designing this stuff, and they are fashion trendsetters. So should Costco be able to just copy it?
well,
What
that's what the lawsuit is all about.
right?
Yeah.
What would you think if you developed a really high end, nice product that was really soft and pretty and everything, and there was a cheaper knockoff?
Right.
I don't think Costco should be allowed to do
Well, of
that.
course, as an intellectual property attorney, I'm going to say, well, you have to protect your brand and everything. But the fashion industry is a little bit different than other industries. Sort of traditional for the top design houses to get knocked off by everybody below them. They sort of set the trends, and then everybody else sort of copies it. And people weren't using patents to protect clothing in the past, but Lululemon decided to do this, and we're going to see what happens here. I think that, on the one hand, you have sort of the industry custom. On the other hand, you have the intellectual property that Lululemon invested in. And I guess we're going to see what the court has to say about it. But before we talk about that, I want to hear what Jim Brood has to say about it. So, Jim, what do you think about this stuff?
Well, I think if it's a design, just the colors or the patterns, that might be tough. But if it's the actual fabric where they have patent pending or patents on it, and it replicates it really closely, that could be it could have a stronger case. But we were just talking about it in the way on the way here with my daughter. She wants to go to Canal Street and get some nice Gucci bag or what. And I was trying to explain to her that the investment in that brand, they have a right to try to stop those knockoffs. And so it's a similar, but they've taken it to court, and Costco is a established company which sells brands as well. I bought clothes there before,
Oh, good.
in
I'm not
DC.
the only
So they do sell branded
one.
things. So it's a little different, but I think it definitely is a dilemma. It'll
Yeah.
it'll be a close call, I think.
Yeah. I mean, isn't that sort of Costco's business model, though, to kind of sell knockoffs of other stuff for cheaper? I mean, I go into Costco, I haven't seen like a huge number of brand names. I guess more on the grocery store side, but you get those huge bottles of ketchup that have their own zip code, right? And and that's Heinz ketchup, right? But there's also a lot of stuff that they sell that's off brand that kind of looks like it's on brand, right? And so I think that's part of their marketing strategy
Mm.
is to find those kind of gray areas. So anyway, Sherry, what do you think?
Well, as somebody who owns a boutique and has sold a lot of clothes, I would say I find it fascinating that they were able to patent. Which is again, I'm with you. If it's the fabric specifically, that makes sense to me. The design of the leggings or their sweatshirts. I just am curious how you patent like that because there's not a lot of variation in the fashion world. Everything kind of looks the same, cuts similar. it's so often the name. I can see if somebody's trying to knock off, their name or whatever. That's it. But this is interesting. Again, fabrication. Yes, I could see if you had like something really special about the brush of the fabric, the cut of not the cut of the fabric, but like the feel or the way it's manufactured. It is interesting to me that they're able to do that with the cuts of the clothes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can file something called a design patent, and it doesn't really protect the function of the article, but it protects the way it looks. And so, if they have an especially unique cut or unique shape, it's possible to get
Yeah,
a patent
that's what
on
I'm
that.
curious about. Because my kids own Lululemon leggings because they are not cheap. They look like all the other pair of leggings I have in my house. So that's where I'm like, yeah, they just look. I mean, they're Lululemon. That's all the kids care about is that it has that name on it. But that is, I mean, they just look like another pair of leggings. That's why I find it interesting that it's like, oh, there must be something unique about the way they sew it or the way they cut it, like you said. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, as far as I shop at Costco and I see a lot of brand stuff like you on the non-grocery side. They're selling a lot of electronics and different brands of,
Yeah.
products and clothing is one of them. That typically you'll see their Costco brand, but they do sell a lot of branded clothes. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, I think that in the generic space, the knockoffs or I can see like a Gucci bag. You're trying to sell a Gucci as like a fake Gucci. So I don't know, is Costco trying to sell it as Lululemon and it's
No,
not
I think that's
Lululemon?
all under their own brand, a
Yeah.
Kirkland
But
brand or
but what they
something.
saying here is people might assume that it's Lululemon because they do have name brand manufacturers that produce things for them under the Kirkland name. So they might make that assumption that, oh, this is really Lululemon. They're just selling it
Well,
as Kirkland.
Lululemon has partnerships with other brands. For example, Peloton, has a Lululemon partnership. So that somebody I could see where somebody might think,
Yeah.
but usually their name they still put their name on it.
Well,
Yeah.
in any case, Lululemon's like made $10 billion last year. Costco made 250 billion last year, so they're doing okay.
Yeah,
I
they
hope, and we hope
either are
they work.
doing poorly.
I hope they work this out.
But this could
Arthur,
this could set up a new trend of how IP protection is going to work in the future. Because this is I have never heard of it, and I think this is you could go into software and say, okay, the lines of code were written, and you can say, okay, this does the same. So there's a way to do that, but I don't know. Clothing is hard. I mean, I just saw something which was very different that Prada just unveiled a new type of sandals, and they're selling it for like $1,500 for those sandals, and they're like a knockoff of a design from India, where those sandals were they sell for like identical. So I'm looking at this at their ramp show, and I'm like, okay, this is pretty good. So if this would stand, or if there's a way that this case will come to some kind of decision, I think it's going to open up a lot of.
it's interesting legal theories, and designer fashion houses have wanted a special copyright type of protection for some of their designs, but it never made it through Congress. Design patents, they take about 18 months to get. So by the time you get the patent filed and issued, the design has to have some longevity. It just can't be like a seasonal thing. But yeah, I think this is actually pretty new because normally when clients approach us and they want to get patent protection on their clothing designs, we have to work really hard to get something through the patent office. So I think you're right, Arthur. This could be but we'll see. We'll be watching this carefully, and it could be just the tip of an iceberg.
It
Right?
could be.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. And speaking of patents, if you have an idea or invention that you want to protect, contact us at Gerhardt Law. We work with entrepreneurs worldwide to help them through the entire process of obtaining patents, trademarks, and copyrights. You can visit learnmoreaboutpatents.com or learn more about trademarks and sign up for a free consultation with a Gerhardt Law attorney. Or you can also download a white paper on patents or trademarks, the entrepreneur's guide, and you'll learn lots of really good stuff.